Welcome to the Biz Kidz Podcast, where young entrepreneurs rise, shine, and redefine what is possible. Ready to launch your business? Well, buckle up. We're about to launch. Welcome to the Biz Kidz Podcast. I'm JD Rabali, your host, and today we have with us Madelyn with Guilt-Free Treats. Madelyn did our Biz Kidz Expo a few months ago, and she actually took first place for her division, and then she also won the People's Choice Award. So we have her on the podcast today to ask her some questions about what she thinks worked good and what she learned along the process. But as we always like to start off with is, how did you come up with your business idea, or who you are and what you do? So give us in 60 seconds, Madelyn, who you are and what you do.
Hi, I'm Madelyn, and I'm the owner of Guilt-Free Treats, where we make healthy desserts that you don't feel guilty about eating. We're not just selling treats, we're offering a taste of home-baked goodness using only the finest, freshest ingredients. We craft each treat from scratch, ensuring a truly unique and delicious experience. Our treats aren't just sweet, they're an adventure. We're constantly experimenting with new flavor combinations, so you'll always find something new to try. Think spicy chocolate chip with a hint of chili, lemon with a swirl of dulce de leche, or even grandma's chocolate chip, a classic. Our treats aren't just sweet, they're an adventure. We're constantly experimenting with new flavor combinations, so you'll always find something new to try. Think about the future. Healthy treats, healthy pies, it all starts with Guilt-Free Treats.
Awesome. So yeah, you were prepared for your 60-second intro. That was great. I'm glad you're so well prepared to be able to do that. So let's start off with how old are you now?
I am 10.
10. And when did you actually start the first time doing your business? And was it with Biz Kidz?
I actually started about 2 years ago in my neighborhood, and I just started thinking of a bunch of different ideas and stuff. I think I did pretty good amount of ideas before I found the right one, and I still am going between a lot.
What was your first product idea that you tried?
Well,
Do you
I
remember?
think it's really hard to remember, but I think it was like, because I saw a bunch of my friends and family, they were all doing bracelets and stuff, and as a little kid, I loved making jewelry, so I think I started selling bracelets.
And you said that so that didn't work too well to sell them, or was it kind of a slow
Well,
start?
it was a slow start because I was young and I mostly needed my parents' help for it because I was 8 when I first started. So it was like hard for me to do all the business side of it. So I was more like out there doing the stuff and building it.
Okay. And so when did the treats, did you do the biz, when you did your first Biz Kids program, did you do treats at that first show, or did you have another product?
I did dog treats. I made homemade dog treats for it was like healthier dog treats, but people just got like so scared. Like they were like, oh, I don't know if my dog's going to get sick or something like that. So it was like, just like to sell things like that. So, I decided to move to this business.
Okay. And that's fair. And I have a dog, and so we always concerned that he's allergic to chicken. So you
Yeah.
never know what's in the products, and you never wanted to give your dog a treat and then have to clean up messes later. So that's a good idea to have, but you have to understand that everybody has different needs for their pets. And so you got into the treats, and everybody seems to like sugar and cookies and all that good stuff, right?
Yeah, but I noticed at the last Biz Kids, people would like come around and they'd be like, "Oh, I'm on a diet," and then but then I tell them like, "Oh, it's healthier," and then they'd end up buying it and stuff because it's
Awesome.
everyone on a diet and they're like, "Oh, I don't want to eat bad food all the time and stuff."
Do
So
you
it's
have
really good.
a sugar-free option?
Yes, we do. We have a sugar-free option, and then we have a less sugar, like like we scale down on the sugar instead of having like all the sugar and artificial
Okay.
flavors.
Okay. And then what right now is your best-selling product? What sells the most at the shows?
Probably the cookies. We do a lot of cookies, and I think the flavor would have to be oatmeal raisin.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
I thought the chocolate chip cookie,
Yeah, I know.
that's
I was
my favorite.
surprised too.
So oatmeal raisin is the number one seller. That's very
Wow.
interesting information. So who do you think is your target audience when you're at these shows? Who do you think is the person that's actually spending the money? Is it the kids? Is it the parents? Is it the grandparents? What do you see most?
I think it's like a mixture of them because the kids are like, "Mom, Dad, I want a special treat. Like, come over here. I want a cookie." And then the parents are always like, and then there's like some teens that are over there, like just like come looking around, like shopping and stuff, like at the mall and stuff, like where our last Biz Kids was that I went to. And it was just like, I think it's just a mixture of all of them.
Okay, that's fair. And what are you looking for in the future? Like, what product do you want to try out that you haven't tried yet?
I think I want to start like making like cakes and then like selling either like a whole cake to somebody or like slices of cakes and like build your own cake kind of thing. I think that would
Okay.
be really, really cool.
Did you meet Casey with Casey Cakes and Bakes? She did the Biz Kids about 2 years ago. Did you meet her? So
I don't think
so
so.
she started off when she was 9 years old doing bracelets, and then she got into baked goods, and then she got into doing cakes and decorating cupcakes and stuff like that. And now she's off to Paris to go to this Cordon Bleu school to learn how to do pastry chef work.
That's
So
so cool. I've always wanted to go to that school and really want to do that when I'm older.
well, we'll need to connect you with Casey so she can be a little inspiration to you because she ran into the exact same issue you were having. Is she did bracelets and it took so long to make a bracelet and
Yeah,
to have a lot to sell. It took so much time, and she found out, well, I can do cookies and brownies and stuff like that and have a lot to sell for the day. So that's great. So, who do you think has inspired you the most in your life on getting your business started? Mom,
probably
dad,
probably my
grand.
parents
Okay.
and my older brother because my older brother was, like, always there to support me and stuff, and he always, like, helped me along the way, and my parents, like, they were always there, and, like, they helped me, like but my parents don't help me with everything because they believe that I should do most of the things by myself and stuff, but they were just there to support me, which really helped me a lot.
And what do you think the so far has been the hardest part of starting your own business?
Um, I think probably, like, trying to get people to buy the products and not just getting people to buy the products because I'm at my age and that because, like, that's mostly why people buy them, like, "Oh, yeah, you're a little kid trying to start your own business. Here you go, let's do that." But, like, I want people to just, like, buy my products because they want my products, not because I'm just a little kid that they wanna support and stuff.
And you have to show that your product is different or better than, the competition. And when
Yeah,
you do a Biz Kids event, there can a lot of times be other kids that are selling cookies, and you did lemonade as well, right?
yeah.
And so you have to kind of show why you're different, and that. So what do you think is your biggest difference in your cookies compared to some of the competitors out there?
I think because we do, like, crazy flavors, like, we can do interesting flavors with it, and that like I said in my pitch, we're always, like, trying to do different flavors that people aren't, like, familiar with, like spicy chocolate chip. No one's gonna, everybody's probably gonna be like, "Oh, spicy chocolate chip, what?" Like, that sounds weird, but it's, like, the perfect balance between everything, and I think that's what, like, sets us from the crowd, is that most people aren't gonna go to a store and be like, "Oh, that's a good idea, spicy chocolate chip." They're just gonna be like, "Ew, that sounds kinda gross," but it's actually really good. So I think, like, the interesting flavors and stuff.
So I like trying new things with food. Do you ever have s'mores? Have you ever
Yes,
made a s'more on
yeah.
like a campfire? So what I do with a s'more, maybe you can. This is an idea for you to try out with a cookie. I don't know if it'll work or not, but I like to take peanut M&Ms, push it into a marshmallow, and then roast it and eat it like that instead of no graham cracker, no chocolate on it, or put the M&M in there. So try maybe an M&M marshmallow cookie
That
and
sounds
see if that.
good. That actually sounds really good.
I just came up with just thought of that idea because I love when at a campfire. I take that M&M and I push it into that marshmallow and it melts inside. just like baking a cookie. So it may be a good combination for you to try out.
Yeah, I should try it. This sounds actually like I love peanut butter and I love s'mores, so I feel like peanut butter and chocolate would just like go so good together.
So was there anything that went wrong at just look at the last show that you did, the Biz Kids Market or Expo. Um, did anything go wrong? And if so, how did you fix it on the spot?
I think so. We needed to make fresh lemonade, but we had cookies too. And most of the people were like, "Oh, I want lemonade." And I think we had like a lot of people that had bigger families and were like, "Oh, can I get like 5 cups of lemonade?" So, um, before the show, we like did it in the house and we put it in like a jug so that way it was just easier to do that instead of because our business isn't just lemonade, it's cookies too. So it's just easier to like already have it made instead of like actually at the show like squeezing in front of them because it does take a little while to make like fresh squeezed lemonade because you need to like squeeze the lemons and do a whole bunch of stuff. So
Yeah, so having kind of an assembly line so you can actually get
yeah.
through the customers, especially when you have a big family that shows up. Have you looked at are your prices of your products per item, or have you looked at like packaging your products as like buy a cookie and get a lemonade for half off or anything like that?
So something funny that we did was I started to realize that, like, towards the end of the show, like, you start to realize more and more towards the end of the show. So at the end of the show, it was like I did half off a cookie if you buy a lemonade. You get
Okay.
if you buy a cookie and lemonade, you get half off your next cookie and lemonade. So we did like a thing, and then it got a lot more people in to do it. So I think we sold a bunch more like towards the end of it.
So what do you do with all your extra cookies at the end of the show?
The extra cookies we bring home that day and we post it in our neighborhood and some other neighborhoods and stuff. And we try to get other people to buy it. And if they don't buy it, then well, my family eats it.
That's a good job to have right there. I would
Yeah.
I'd be a volunteer to eat your leftover products. So, so did you get a chance to walk around and see some of the other vendors and other kids that were selling their stuff?
A little bit. I went around the circle like before, like 20 to maybe 30 minutes before the show actually started. So that way I could just get a chance to see everybody and see what their businesses were.
And did you see any ideas that kind of made you like spark and go, oh, that's actually a good idea, a good way to make some money, or I could do something like that. Did you ever think of that, any of that?
So there was a girl next to us, and they were selling like homemade skincare, which personally, as a girl, I love skincare and makeup and that kind of thing. So I was like, what if I made like healthier skincare that people might buy and stuff? And my idea just like kept going in my brain. So I kept like writing it down in my head. And like I was writing it down, starting to write it down on a piece of paper after that. And like I haven't started it yet, but I feel like it's a good idea.
So just on that idea, we had a young man that was with us when we first started about 4 years ago. He was selling beef tallow, and I guess beef tallow is good for the skin. And he had
Yeah.
like a way to do like a skincare program, but I haven't seen him for a long time. So you may do some research into beef tallow and how you can use it as a skincare product. So
Yeah, I've seen that tallow in general is really good for you. Like tallow from any animals is really good for your face. Because my mom actually uses tallow on a daily basis and stuff for her skincare. But yeah, I think it'd be a good idea to use that kind of stuff.
and you know what the great thing about skincare is like people that use it every day. So they're constantly buying it. So a cookie or a lemonade, they only may buy once a week or, when they want a treat. But a product like that is going to be something that they use on a day-to-day basis. So when you're looking at your business idea and how can I have a continuing revenue stream, you're looking for products that people are using and continuing to buy. So the
Yeah.
subscription model is always a good model to look at. Like you get them on a monthly basis to always buy. Um, what other lessons have you learned, in while you started your business?
Um, I think that like even if something doesn't work, to never give up. Because I used to get when I was little, when I was younger, I had a lemonade stand in my like, I put a lemonade stand, I don't remember where, but it was in a very good spot. And I got like, I was, like, kind of, like, sad. I was like, "Oh, no, like, is my business not gonna like, am I not gonna have a career in business?" But then after that, I tried to fix the idea, and I did it. So we used to live on a golf course, and so there was, this back road that we put the lemonade stands, like, right where people were gonna drive past with their golf carts, and
Yeah.
there was so many people that came. I think I made a little over $300. It was, like and for, like, maybe, like, 2, 3 hours. It was just a lot, and I was but then, like, I was so happy because I, like, figured out the way to actually make the product worked and that it wasn't the product that wasn't good or it wasn't like I'm not doing good. It was that it wasn't in the right spot.
And it has a big deal to do with it. It's all about being in front of your customer at the right location, because you can be on a corner or in your driveway, and everybody's behind you on the golf course. You may not sell as much because people don't want to pull over and get out of the car, and
Yeah.
so that's a great lesson to learn. Um, Now, at the expo, you won $1,000 for the grand prize, and you won $500 for the People's Choice Award. How are you going to reinvest that money?
I think
Have you have you spent that money?
no, I have not. I actually have not. Um, so I think I'm just gonna put it in my bank account and leave it for the times that like when I do another expo or when I do another Biz Kids event, and I'm just gonna save up that money so that way I can buy my products to make my food or my skincare, whatever my product is at that time. So that way I don't have to go off and be like, oh no, I don't have any money. I need to start making money so that way I can go sell things. So I think it's just really important to invest your money in your business and to save it so that way you can do more business events.
Awesome. And then what's a crazy idea that you would love to try if you didn't have any limits on like money or something you would want to get into? What would be your big, crazy, audacious goal?
Oh,
I know that one's a tricky one to just throw at
yeah.
you.
Uh, I think if at my age, like if it would be really cool to like be able to be, because my dad owns his own jewelry store, and I think it would be really cool to have like a business where like I had, like, a little part of my dad's store, and I would just go back there, and then it would be, like, my own store kinda thing, and I would have, like, food, I would have drinks, I would have bracelets, I would have jewelry, I would have, like, just, like, you could go in there and be like, "Oh, but I wanted this. Oh, well, I have that." Like, that kinda thing, like, I have everything there, kinda. I think it would be
Awesome.
really fun to do.
And what do you think would be more exciting, or what was more exciting for you, your first customer sale or your biggest sale?
That's a hard one.
That is a hard one, isn't it?
I
Because
think
your first customer is always, you're excited because you got that first customer. When you make that first dollar for something you created,
yeah, it's like
that's a pretty big deal.
yeah, personally, in my head I remembered both of them, and I think it's more important to me that if the people like the product, I don't really care how much money I get. I just like to see like people have a smile on their face and them actually enjoy having the product and not just like be like, oh, I'm just gonna buy like 20 of the cookies of these things. Like I don't really care how much you buy. I want to see like you be happy with it. So I think seeing my first customer would be a lot better for me.
Awesome. And then what advice would you give other kids that want to start a business, but they're a little scared to do it?
That it's okay if you mess up sometimes. If you just get back out there and keep working on your business and doing it more and more, then it's gonna do good and you're going to excel in your business. And that it doesn't matter if you mess up. Like I've done a few times, but it's okay because there's always gonna be mess ups and there's always gonna be bumps in the road.
And have you ever watched Meet the Robinsons on Disney?
actually haven't. No.
So look up the Meet the Robinsons. So Meet the Robinsons teaches the lesson that failure is okay, and we celebrate the failures because that's how you learn what works and what doesn't work. And it's one of my favorite Disney movies, Meet the Robinsons. If you have Disney Plus, you can get it on there. But it's it's kind of the hallmark of our program is we want kids to understand it's okay to mess up. It's okay to trip over things and not work out because those are where you learn the lessons, what works, what doesn't work, what your customers want. Because a lot of times we'll think, oh, this is a great product, but maybe your customers don't really want that product. Maybe you like that product, but is it something that's going to sell all the time? So you have to look at all those factors. So what is next for you other than you said maybe some skincare products? Do you have another show coming up anytime soon where you're going to be promoting your stuff?
I actually might do something in 4-H. So I'm doing like painting and stuff in 4-H and stuff. And I'm like so busy right now. And I think it's just easier for me just to do like a simple thing and like in my neighborhood, that kind of thing, like a little thing. Because even though like sometimes like, oh yes, I really want the money kind of thing, but like if I think it's just good to scale back sometimes and just give your mind a break and like let it like get new business ideas. Because when I relax, my brain just like, "Oh, what about this? What about that? What about that?" So I think it's just easier for that. And new business idea.
And you do some acting as well, right?
Yes, I do. I
No,
do.
okay, good. So acting is a great way to learn your pitch. Being ready for it because you're prepared on your script and what to do and say. So that's a great skill to have to help you in selling your business. Um, what advice would you give parents that are afraid to let their kids fail?
Um, that I think it's just good to let your kids fail. Like, even if like you get sad, like, oh no, I don't want my kid to fail. I'm scared that they're going to fail. It's okay to let them fail because that's when they learn their lessons, and that's when they go like, oh, well, I should do this by myself. I should start working on this and that and stuff. And I think it's just good for them to like be on their own and learn like, I'm not saying like adulthood, but like learn how to like be by themselves and learn to do stuff and grow their business alone and stuff. And like parents sometimes, like my parent was even scared to like, they're like, oh no, I don't want her to fail, that kind of thing. But I think it's good to help them along the way and let them learn their business ideas and like say they mess up and that business is not very good, to let them find another one and to do different business ideas.
That's great advice. Well, we have some Biz Kidz markets that are going to be coming up here in Southwest Florida in the fall. They'll be starting in October. And during the season, we have events going on just about every month, 2 or 3 times a month. So if you want to get your kids involved, you can find us at bizkidsusa.org and find out how to get your kids involved in Southwest Florida. If you're not in Southwest Florida, we do have a training center that you can get some resources to help the kids kind of think through their ideas and get started. So we'd love for you to be a part of our Biz Kidz entrepreneur community. So Madelyn, thank you for being here today. Thank you for sharing your words of advice. And do you have any last words to say to the audience today?
Thank you for watching, and it just means a lot to have all your guys' support and the people who buy and don't buy from me just to be there and at this kids market. It just means a lot to me.
Awesome. Well, we'll see you guys next time on the Biz Kidz Podcast, and we're looking forward to seeing what you have next in your business ideas. So we'll see you later.